Today I'm going to be sharing a barely edited Let's Design a Set of Nails video. So I'm going to be using the August monthly Mani box to create this set of nails. And for this set of nails, I wanted to do something that was ocean as well as like anchor, like nautical themed, because I think this would be like a great farewell to summer design. And I actually, as I said in the video from yesterday, which is where I shared like the August monthly Mani box in more depth, I think this was a really great way to say goodbye to summer. I know that there are some people that probably never want this season to end. However, it's just too hot and the bugs need to go. So I am fully ready to say goodbye to summer, and I am fully ready to embrace the fall weather and just the beautiful warmth of that season. So on the thumbnail, I did a solid white. And then on the middle finger, I did the really pretty blue stamping polish. This color I can see being so popular. I love that color also because I think it's going to be so beautiful for when winter comes around, because I plan to do some snowflakes on top of this. I know it's too early to be thinking about winter for some people, but I'm always thinking ahead about future designs when I see polishes. And then on the ring finger, I went ahead and did a solid like deep red. I was trying to go for like the whole blue and red nautical theme, as that's like usually the color palette that you tend to see with nautical themed decor or nails. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the stamping for the thumb. So for the thumb, I wanted to use this really cool image. I love images like this. They kind of remind me of like a wallpaper type look. So I was trying to do the blue as well as the red at the same time, which my stamping was not 100% perfect, but again, this is a barely edited video, so I was keeping this in just to go ahead and show that stamping does not always work the first time you go to do it. It's definitely trial and error, so if that happens to you, like, don't get upset, don't, beat yourself up for it, because you will get better with the practice that you do. And then I'm going to go ahead and place this onto the nail, about 3/4 of the nail. I wanted to leave the top part solid white for a reason, because I wanted to try something that I didn't know if it was going to end up working out, but I actually really liked it. So I'm going to go ahead here and use a black stamping polish, and I'm going to reverse stamp this, what looks like a tied piece of rope, and I'm going to be using a medium brown nail polish to do the reverse stamping here. When it comes to reverse stamping, you can 100% use a dotting tool. You can also use a detail brush to do the reverse stamping. It really just comes down to what is easiest for you. And then I let that dry for a few seconds, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply this to the nail like so. I wanted this to cover up the end of that stamped image, but make it look like, I guess you could say like a piece of wallpaper. So I really liked how that turned out. Alright, so next up, we're going to go ahead and do just a very simple stamped image on the solid blue nail. So I'm going to be using the image that says "Seize the Day," I believe, or "Seize the Moment." It was upside down. At this point, I was using a lint roller to remove any of the excess image, but it did not 100% turn out like as clear as I wanted to, and that was because I did not use enough stamping polish. So I went ahead and I fixed that, as you can see. Again, to show that not everything works on the very first time you go to try to do something. It worked much better though on the second try here. And again, I'm using that lint roller to clean up the stamp. And that's all I did for that finger there. Okay, so for the ring finger, I wanted to use this like rope and anchor stamped image. So I went ahead and I used that white stamping polish again. And then I went ahead and I actually cleaned the stamper off of like the excess image, because I didn't want the other parts of the image that were not supposed to be there to get onto that red nail. So I just went ahead and I cleaned off the stamper, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp this image on. And then as you can see, I didn't have enough of the image because the nail was a little too long. So I went ahead and I cleaned off the stamping plate, and I went in with the same exact image just to complete the pattern on that nail. Alright, so that was it for the ring finger. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to being the, I believe, index finger. So we're going to go ahead and use the silver magnetic polish to do the base to a design. So I went ahead and I did one thinner coat. I let that dry for a second, then I added the thicker coat. And then I went ahead and I used the magnet. Now, I will be honest, I am not a pro at these whole magnetic nail polishes. So I was just playing around and seeing what designs I could create using this magnet. Not gonna lie, I definitely need more practice at this, and I definitely need to get used to how you use this little set of magnetic beads type thing. I will be honest, it was actually really cool, but you definitely need to have a thicker second coat to get that magnetic effect. I guess I was trying to go for the look of like the ripples of a seashell. I don't think it turned out like that 100%, but there was some ripple effect there, as you can see. So once that was dry, I went ahead and grabbed the blue stamping polish and wanted to do this really pretty, like random seashells, like little starfish image. I just wanted to do that type of stamping because I love images like that, and to be honest, I kind of wanted to see what it looked like on top of the magnetic background. Again, one of those designs that you just end up like winging as you go. And this would be me trying to figure out where exactly I wanted to put that stamp. And because again the nail was too long, I went ahead and I just re-stamped the image to add the final bit of that nail there. This is one of the easiest things that you can do if the nail is a little bit too long. You just re-stamp the image and you are usually good to go. And then I accidentally nicked it, but it's okay because off camera I kind of fixed it. I chose not to show that, but I did have to do a little bit of repair there. So on the pinky finger, I did the exact same background because I wanted to try and see if I could try to do like a different effect with the magnetic polish. Again, I need to work on this. I think it's a really cool concept. For anyone who's wondering, this is not a gel. This is a regular nail polish. I know there are a lot of magnetic polishes out there that are gel. But this is just a regular polish. So if you are a person who cannot wear gel or you do not feel comfortable wearing gel, there are regular nail polish options available for that. And I'm going to go ahead and use these beads again, and I wanted to kind of like scrunch them up into like a little ball just to see what type of effect that would have. Again, this is going to be one of those things that I'm going to need to like play around with more to kind of see what I can create with it. I was trying to go for like the side of a seashell to create like, I guess you could say like the top part of the seashell where like before where it opens, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I was trying to create, but I clearly did not get that effect. And then I went ahead and decided to kind of pull apart this little magnetic set of beads. One thing I will say though is that if you're afraid that you're going to break the magnetic beads with this, you're not going to, because I literally pulled them all off like individually, and they just like they literally like snap back together magnetically, which is actually really kind of cool. This is actually a really fun magnet to play with, to be honest with this. Okay, so once that was dry, I went ahead and I did another set of stamping. This time I wanted to do this really cute rope and anchor again, or maybe an anchor and a chain. And I just wanted to apply this to the nail like so, just to kind of see what it looked like. Okay, so basically the final step at this point was we were going to add the smudge-free top coat, and I will have that in the description box, as well as the white stamping polish and the black stamping polish that I used. So overall, I liked how the design came together. However, I was not overly in love with how this design turned out. I absolutely love how the thumbnail turned out. I absolutely loved how the seize the moment stamping turned out, as well as the like anchor and rope stamping. I think those are really, really cool looking, and I just love nail designs that look like that. This blue stamping polish is absolutely gorgeous, and like I said, I'm going to definitely be using this in the winter time for snowflake nails. I think that's going to be so beautiful. If you are a person that loves nautical theme nails, I would definitely recommend giving this box a go. If you are a person who is not quite ready to say goodbye to summer, and you are trying to squeeze in a couple of last minute, summer nail designs, I would recommend giving this one a go. It's a really fun box, and it's really, really cute. So I will also say I'm really excited to continue playing with the magnetic polish, because obviously with it being silver, I can use that for the holidays, which that would probably be really, really cool with some holiday themed nail art. So I'm really excited for this. So like I said, I will have the smudge-free top coat, the black and the white and the red stamping polish that I used, all in the description box below. And that's it.